I'm after veiled polypores. I got a few in the bag and a few more on the path. I went off the path, which is a little dangerous out here given the poison oak. Those are some old fellers. Veiled polypore is really strong medicine. They got a relationship with the wood boring beetle. So every one of these trees that they affect are dead. That guy right over there got tons of little tree pimples. I like to call them tree pimples. And something I haven't seen before is them growing on the butt of the tree so far down. I found some that are just even in the root system. And with a distinct neck. Makes them look a lot like a reishi. But, so these things are called veiled polypores because the polypore mushroom is something that will have, no gills, but instead of gills, it has little dots, little, can't remember the technical term, but I'm trying to show you guys a little demonstration. So, cut one in half, and that's what it has instead of gills. And it has an empty little cavern inside. And that's the nursery to a wood boring beetle. The wood boring beetle comes in, smells out a good place to lay its eggs. So this is a nursery. They lay their eggs here. When the larvae hatch, they eat some of this funk in here. And then when they take off, they turn into a beetle, mature, and they're able to fly. They fly to the next tree and inoculate the next tree with the spores of this mushroom. And then the cycle continues. So that's how the mushroom gets around, relies heavily on this beetle, and the beetle relies heavily on the mushroom. It's very unusual for a mushroom to cover its spores. Like most of the time it's air dispersal. The wind will carry the spores around. In this case, they rely heavily on the beetle. It's a fascinating little relationship they got going there. So I'm picking these guys, doing pretty good. But that's poison oak. That's poison oak. That's poison oak. Poison oak. I'm standing in a bunch of poison oak. Not too happy about that. We'll see what happens. I'll just carefully undress when I get home, I guess. I really don't know what to do. But that was not cool. But I got a bunch of mushrooms. Oh, the sacrifices. Some oyster mushrooms. It's hard to see very clearly up there, but there were some big ones up there. We do have a couple of decent ones. Very firm. I'll take what I can get. Vanilla leaf. I love that plant. Beautiful out here, right next to the salt water. the beginning of June and people don't really think about mushroom hunting late spring, early summer. If you know what to look for, there's a lot out here. This stinging nettle, and it's a joke compared to poison ivy. I don't like that poison ivy. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. This is interesting. I'm not sure what it is. Down here we got oyster mushrooms. There's a good amount of oyster mushrooms, and I can see that these look like turkey tail. There's a lot of them that look like turkey tail, and the way to tell is by counting on the spores on the underside, or the pores for the spores. But it looks to me like that was a huge thing of turkey tails that got infected by another group, like a parasitic fungus that just took over. So I'm gonna harvest some of these old, I'm not sure that's turkey tail. I think it is. It's all dried up, past prime, makes it a little harder to identify, but I'm gonna take it and look closer at home. Because if it is, I want it. And if it ain't, well, oh well. Took the wrong mushroom. This banana slug is just sitting here mowing down on this piece of grass. Just going to town. He's aware of my presence. My shadow and such is kind of upsetting him. Isn't that weird? Oh, is it coming in or out? The thing is, these guys love oyster mushrooms. So I'm gonna give him a little chunk, see what he does. While we're waiting, I'll share a few tidbits of information on these slugs. I believe that they're the third largest slugs in the world. That hole is weird. Always going for the mushroom. That hole has to do with their mating. It's an indication that he's already mated. He, she. Okay, the funny thing is they're both male and female. It's called being asexual. So when they mate, they both get pregnant and impregnate the other at the same time. And they can mate for 72 hours straight. They just interlock and create a big old slime bubble nest thing. It's really gross. But since they hump for so long, they get hungry and they will eat the side of each other's heads. So that hole is where its mate ate its face. Well, that's really giving yourself to your spouse, huh? I don't know how well I'd take it if I was trying to eat and someone was like this in my face, but it's kind of fascinating. It's alien. I came up on him, and he was posed in a very unusual way. I sure like banana slugs. He's like drooling on it. Yummer. They make quick work of it. I wonder if they have teeth. It's like, how do they get the ability to munch off a chunk?